Hello everybody, and welcome to Lockdown Literature, courtesy of the Studio Online and the National Lottery Community Fund. You are about to listen to an audio story from a series of writing gathered during the COVID-19 lockdown from both the adults and children's write-on sessions. So relax, settle back and enjoy a selection of writing from some of the finest creative minds at the studio. The White Cell by David Ball.
Dearest Simon, I'm so sorry that I haven't been able to contact you before now. You and the kids must have been worried sick. Please forgive me, darling. It's all right, though. I'm alive and I'm thinking of you all. And while I'm still alive, I can remember us all doing lovely things. Like that trip to Disneyland. I love you and the girls $1 million, so much so that it hurts me to write this. But I won't be seeing you again. For the good of mankind, I'm going to be locked in this cell until the transformation is finished, and then what's left will be sealed and buried. I'll get to that in a moment. But I've been told I can write a letter to you. However, I don't know how much of it will be redacted. So I'll put down everything I need to and hope for the best. I love you with all my heart. Before I go on, if I sound as if I'm off my head, it's because I'm drugged up to the eyeballs with painkillers and tranquilizers to help me get through this. Okay. There was an accident at the lab. It was my fault, but seeing as I'm paying the price, I'm giving myself a pass. Do you remember I told you that we worked on researching new antibiotics? That their overuse, both on humans and animals, was going to lead to a public health disaster of staggering proportions unless science could come up with some new ones? Well, that was part of what we did. But our real job was biological warfare. The irony in that is almost painful when you think about it, but Uncle Sam always had a sense of humour. My job was to analyse the life we brought back from Enceladus, one of Saturn's moons, back in 2035. If you don't remember hearing about that, that's because you didn't. Officially, we didn't find anything at all. President Miller had been sworn into office shortly before we found out we'd hit pay dirt. But, as an evangelical, young Earth creationist, it didn't sit well with his worldview, so all news of it was squashed. Can you imagine what it would have done to organised religions? Shortly after that, NASA's entire program regarding the search for extraterrestrial life was quietly shelved. Since I've been writing to you, darling, it's moved an inch further up. It really is getting quicker. Goddamn mother of Christ, it hurts. So, the weird and wonderful life we found was brought back unannounced, and my team's been working on it ever since. I won't bore you with the details, but it's very different in its biochemistry. Multicellular, to be sure, but cells and processes and morphologies of a different stripe. And it's genetic material. People thought Watson and Crick's double helix was amazing in the 1950s, but this was crazy town. To cut a long story short, we were working on a way to use it as a weapon. And in a moment of stupidity, I inadvertently released some of it into the lab. By the time the emergency lockdown kicked in, it had reached my foot. That was my second mistake. No more hippie, trippy sandal wearing for me, sweetie. I'd got complacent and lazy and should have been wearing protective clothing. So I stepped on it, which was my third mistake. A 3-inch worm-like thing. Nothing, really. Nothing at all. But I wasn't wearing my hazmat, and now it's working up towards my head. My body isn't so much dying from the ground up as being converted into something. The thing is, darling, people have been misinformed by science fiction horror films. It doesn't matter if an alien can eat us. What really matters is if it can digest us. And if it can't, will our bodies kill it? See, that's what we discovered on experiments with lab animals. The examples of Enceladus's life we had could kill our animals in various ways, but the animals often killed the alien organisms. Wildly different biochemistries. See? That just hurts so much, sweetie. I've got a morphine pen, but it's running out. Damn it. That's a little better, though. See? My executioner injected spores into my foot which embarked on a feeding frenzy. But what they ate killed them, so the filaments from those spores moved on and died. So more filaments came up and on and on and on. As it moves up my leg, what it leaves behind is a twisted mess of dead matter. Both mine and its. Useless to either of us. But those damned filaments keep rolling on. It's a mess. Bits of flesh, bits of bone and lots of dead alien. Misshapen. Lumpy. Like mini explosions. All the disgusting colours under the sun. And it smells just like you'd imagine dead flesh to smell. If I wasn't high on drugs, I'd throw up at the sight of it. When I questioned the do not save order, I was told the decision had come straight from the president. The delicious irony of it all is that this guy's really interested in the idea of alien life, and he wants NASA to go back out there. They've made me as comfortable as they can. I'll give them that. But they can't allow this to get out. So I'm being sacrificed for the good of the world. No trial, no appeal, no defence. That's despite the fact we were trying to turn it into a weapon. The US government sure has some serious cognitive dissonance issues going on there. Hang on. My guard's coming back in. I didn't tell you that he's in a hazmat suit that's taking its air supply via a tube going out via the door. He looks a bit like an astronaut, actually. And he told me earlier on that the gun he's got is to shoot me in the head if I try anything. I can't even walk, for Christ's sake. Never mind take on a guy this big. I think this leg would just break into pieces if I put any weight on it. You really couldn't make this stuff up. Listen, darling, I don't think they'll let you see most of this. But I love you and I love the girls. The three of you are the best thing that's ever happened to me. Give them great big hugs from me, and if they don't redact this letter, tell them I died to save the world. Take care, my sweet, of yourself and the girls. Alicia.